What's going on, guys? It's Kyle. Welcome to the Stock Goat YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering the SoFi stock. We're going to be covering the overall market with the Fed announcement. And also, guys, I'm going to be giving you my detailed perspective of how much percentage gain we could see on the bank charter, guys. I potentially see a short squeeze, maybe a mini short squeeze coming in the near future because SoFi right now is a pretty shorted stock, believe it or not. We could see some nice upward movement. I continuously talk about we're going to see some big gains in 2022, but this is some short-term gains. I'm talking November, guys. This month, we could see some nice upward movements, and I'm going to show you my detailed analysis on how much of a price movement we could potentially get in this video. And I want you guys to know I'm not one of those YouTube short squeeze pumpers out there putting out videos like AMC to 100,000. Yeah, you know who those 5 to 10 YouTubers are saying a stock's going to go to $100,000 on a short squeeze. That's complete garbage nonsense, just looking for views. So I'm not going to be, doing those type of videos for views, guys. I'm going to give you a realistic price target that SoFi could potentially see this coming month. And only if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's try and get this video past 8,000 subscribers. We are one of the top YouTube channels covering the SoFi stock for over 4 months, and we've had many new investors to the market seeing extreme amount of gains. And please be sure to drop a like. Let's try and get this video past 1,000 likes. And don't forget to drop a comment. Are you buying the SoFi stock right now? What is your price target heading into earning? And if you've been following the channel for a while, be sure to take a look at the link in the bio. That is the VIP Patreon group. That's where I'm going to give you, my top 10 stocks to be buying now, earnings updates, options that I'm recommending. You're going to get it all. We have over 250 people inside of the Patreon right now, so be sure to take a look at the Patreon below. All right, guys, just a quick recap on the day. S&P 500 finished 0.65, Dow 0.29, and then NASDAQ 1% gain, guys. Also, the Russell 1.8%. So today, the Fed made an announcement that they're going to be taking their 120 billion asset purchases per month and pull that all the way back down to 15 billion. So that is the taper that is going to be happening this month. They're not going to raise interest rates at this time. We will most likely will see that in either December or 2022. So the tapering has begun, and the market really liked it, as you can see with these indexes. SoFi finished 1% green today. It's up a tiny bit in the after hours, guys, but there is still so much room to run. Volume was a little bit on the higher side, and at this point, guys, we are just waiting on earnings, and we are also waiting on that massive bank charter approval, guys. The thing about this massive news is I don't believe it's a buy the rumor, sell the news, because nobody knows when the news is going to happen. This type of news is much more different than like a clinical trial date, a earnings date, or also like a NEO day when Tesla put out their battery day. So all of those are buy the rumor, sell the news, because everyone knows what's happening at that specific time frame. This case, nobody knows when the bank charter is going through. So I believe we are going to run up drastically once this news is officially absorbed. So as of right now, there is current short volume of 46 million shares. That is around 9% of the entire outstanding shares. And guys, this is a massive company. This is not one of those tiny meme stocks with 500 million to 1 billion market cap. We are talking well over $1 billion plus of short interest right now, guys. And if the big news comes, these guys are going to be screwed because they're going to have to buy back all of those shares. And you can see it's some of the same big whales that were shorting the meme stocks back in the day. Citadel is still shorting. They got about 33 million position size. All the big banks are shorting right now, even though they have, some, long-term shares. They also might be hedging, these past couple of months. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. I'm 100% sure that all of these, big banks also own shares of SoFi. So they might just be hedging right now, but we could see a mini short squeeze if they end up buying back all of those shares for the long term. Because I don't believe they're trying to short this company as it's going to fail or something like that. I believe it's more of a hedge against their long position. So the thing is, they're gonna have to cover when that bank charter news comes out, and 10% is pretty high, guys. Some of these highest short interest meme stocks in the world are right around 20 to 30%. So we could definitely see a nice mini short squeeze, once this news goes through officially. Pretty much what a short squeeze is. A short squeeze is when a shorted stock's price goes up instead of down, forcing the short sellers to decide between covering their position by continuing to pay interest on the borrowed shares in hopes the price will go down, or exiting their position by buying shares at new higher price and returning them at a loss. So that is what a short squeeze is. And a lot of those stocks that were shorted, like AMC, GameStop, those were shorted because of fundamentals. They did not believe in the company. I believe they're going to definitely be buying back these shares on SoFi when that bank charter becomes official. And pretty much what the short covering is, short covering refers to buying back borrowed securities in order to close out an open short position at a profit or loss. It requires purchasing the same security that was initially sold short and handing back the shares initially borrowed for the short sale. This type of transaction is referred to as buy to cover. So once again, this is pretty high short interest right now. 46, 47 million shares right now short. That is massive. Billions and billions of dollars are sold short. Citadel, of course, is one of the bigger positions. These guys love shorting everything inside of the market, but they're going to have to cover immediately, first thing in the morning once that bank charter goes through. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what type of price movements I think could happen. All right, so taking a look at, AMC stock, which is one of the bigger short squeezes of the year, you have to understand that this type of short squeeze was not off of fundamentals. It was strictly off of artificial, volume, trending topics, Twitter, social media. So this was, massive amount of volume, not going off of fundamentals because AMC's earnings, were, not the best. Company has been, pulling back numbers the past couple of years. But as you can see, the short squeeze took place, over like a 10-day period. So it does not have to just be a 1-day short squeeze. It can short squeeze for an entire month or week. So we can see from May 21st all the way to June 2nd, there was about a 417% upward movement, guys. That is for sure a short squeeze. That's like 10, 20 years of the, massive indexes, in the stock market. So this is amazing. Literally like 10 days, you've seen a 400% price movement. So that is an artificial short squeeze. And the shorts lost billions of dollars, trying to short AMC. And then we have GameStop, guys, which was a massive short squeeze, guys. No fundamentals, just massive, massive short interest for no reason, trying to bury the company, make them go bankrupt. And we could take a look at the stock just over the course of 1 week, the 21st, to like the 27th, 700% price movement, guys, on GameStop. Massive short squeeze. Massive short interest. All of these guys, lost billions if they didn't cover. But you can see that happened over the course of like 6 to 7 days, 700% price movement. Now, those two were artificial pumps, guys. No fundamentals, just massive amount of short interest and, retail investors trying to take advantage. Affirm had a fundamental short squeeze, I believe, guys, because they had massive news that broke out with that Amazon partnership. We can see Amazon partners with Affirm for first buy now, pay later, August 27th. If we take a look at Affirm on August 27th, they had a massive, mini short squeeze, 46% price movement, guys. This was strictly off fundamentals. And the thing is, this stock did not lose any of its gains, over the next, couple of months. It actually made more gains. So basically, with a 46% price movement up, the stock experienced an additional 12% pullback, a couple of days later, about a week later. So overall, this stock moved, 30 to 35% plus movement on that news. So that's exactly what we could see happen for the SoFi stock. In my opinion, we could potentially see the SoFi stock jump anywhere from 30 to 50% off of this massive news of a bank charter and see a potential pullback of around 10 to 15% the next couple of days. So that would be a great time to sell your call options or take profits if you are in some short-term calls. But I really think we're going to see a 30% upward movement, in the SoFi stock, especially with the, solid short interest of around 9%, 47 million shares plus. Those guys are going to have to cover, with additional, retail volume coming in hot on this stock. Looking at the 1 day chart, I mean, we were up pretty big in the morning. This is how fast the stock can move. The stock can move 4% off of no news at all and eventually pulled back and finished the day around 1% gain. I have a massive position across multiple accounts, over 150,000, up pretty solid, around 40% on all of the accounts. I really believe this is a good buying opportunity, anywhere in the $22 range. We may see a pullback heading into earnings in the next 7 days, but I believe you should be buying this one before the earnings come out and before the bank charter approval. That magical G word is what is going to get us to the top, and that is guidance. We can see here Roku slides 9% on light Q4 guidance, guys. That guidance is what continues to hurt companies with decent earnings. You can see right here at 8.5% pullback after hours on Roku earnings. The revenue was pretty solid and the EPS was a blowout. It's just guidance is what investors fear, a slowdown for the next 3 months. SoFi should definitely have a massive boost in guidance, especially if they get that bank charter approval, guys. The profitability is going to get better, more control over their rates. There's just nothing but good news when that bank charter officially goes through. You already know every day we do the big whales buying in on this stock day by day on Fintel. We have the November 3rd updates coming in. It looks like Sepio Capital, 710,000 shares, guys. Just one institution. That is like, a freaking 15 million plus buy-in. It doesn't really say, the average share price, but guys, that's like 15 million, $20 million plus. Massive buys coming in before the earnings report and before the bank charter. Brand new article that came out today. SoFi stock looks ready to move higher ahead of its Q3 earnings report. SoFi is an emerging fintech giant that's well on its way to greatness. SoFi set an adjusted net revenue forecast in the range of 245 to 255 million. The company said it will expect adjusted EBITDA will be negative 7 million in Q3, down from EBITDA of 11 million in the second quarter. So they did pull back their guidance for Q3. So hopefully they beat that guidance and then reaffirm their 2022 guidance for the future. And once again, we got a massive hit because of things out of SoFi's control. The company set lower expectations for student loan refinancing. It lowered refinancing revenue by 40 million due to the extension of the CARES Act, a moratorium on student loan payments from September 30th all the way to January 31st, 2022. So once we get that back, those student loans are firing on full cylinders. We're going to get additional boost in guidance. Hopefully all this pans out together, guys. Solid earnings with the bank charter, with the student loans all in one. And, it's going to be looking like a great company for 2022, but I expect you to see some massive gains coming in November, guys, especially if we get that bank charter approval. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to say I really do appreciate it. I enjoy doing these videos for you. I'm trying to be as transparent with you as I possibly can. I'm not one of those YouTubers saying everything is a short squeeze left and right, AMC to $100,000. Those guys are just looking for views, to be honest. This is a company disrupting the financial industry, guys, with a massive catalyst on the way, becoming a online digital bank, guys. This is massive news, and we also have Super Bowl 2022. Options could potentially be added to the platform. Short interest is looking solid, around 9%. Those guys are going to have to cover if we do get that massive news. We could see a nice upward movement anywhere in the 30 to 50% range, over the course of, 1 to 5 days. This could definitely happen. I believe those gains are going to really stick into 2022 because we're going to go higher and higher on acquisitions and, future guidance. So this is not one of those, types of movements that you're going to lose all of your gains and, the blink of an eye, like those meme stocks that are pumping off of artificial volume. This is all fundamentals, and that's why I'm recommending this stock for you. Anyone new to the channel, you are not late at all. This company could be running for the next 5 years. My price target in 2022 is $55 plus, and my price target with a bank charter is $30. Once again, my name's Kyle. Hope you have a great day.